Today we're going to look at our fifth of the sci-fi and alien type tangles that are going to be used in our final composition when we do our Zentangle Inspired Art. And the tangle today is actually one that's quite well known in the Zentangle community, created by the official Zentangle folks, and it is called Rixty. So let's jump right in and learn Rixty. So Rixty, the reason I chose it as a part of the sci-fi and alien tangle, even though it's classified as a organic tangle, is because it looks like an alien plant to me. It looks like something you would not see on the earth anywhere, and that instead it is this very alien and unusual looking plant that could grow in our alien landscape. So what I did is I drew a couple parallel lines that will be the stem, and then I capped off that stem with a little shape here, and you'll see what I'm going to do. This creates a little blossom or bud or connecting component on this tangle, and so let's just do it again. We'll keep extending that, so I just sort of imagined where that might come through, and we're going to create this little loop as though the stem just keeps right on growing through these little rings that appear on it. Now we might say, well, wait a minute, what's holding those rings on? But you're overthinking it. This is just a silly little imaginary plant that, like I said, can grow in our alien landscape in our final step of this little fun project. And this can curve in any direction and twist around. And when you feel like it's good to go, just cap it off with a final little bobble like that. Let's draw one or two more of these. Let's draw one that comes up like this, and then one that comes out like that. And what we'll do, we'll create a split in this plant, and then we're going to just do the exact same thing we did on all the other parts of the branch. And we'll create our blossom, and I'm going to take this one out and curve it right up like this. And these can be drawn at all kinds of different sizes and thicknesses and so forth. I'm drawing it large enough here, hopefully, where you can see it more easily than if I draw it itty bitty, teeny tiny. Now we'll come over and pay some attention to this branch. And you can add more of a square or more of a rounded shape. Or I'm sorry, not square, more of a hard line. So it would be like a triangular shape in this case. If you'd like, if you prefer that. I kind of like mine a little more rounded. It just seems to look a little more natural. I suppose if I was building a robot world, though, instead of an alien world, maybe those hard edges would make more sense. Or at least convey that idea better. But in my case, just doing this organic alien sort of look to things. There we go. So it's pretty straightforward and simple tangle. And I'm not going to do... Actually, I will do one more. I'll just show you how we could assemble this behind. It's the same thing we do with all Zentangle drawings, or tangles, patterns, is that we can draw them behind each other, just like any artist draws things that are, if you will, layered to create the concept or the illusion of depth. So now I have to imagine, where would this come out? I'm going to say right about there. As it goes behind those other pieces that we drew in the foreground. And let's just cap this one off right there. Just like that. Alright, so now, how would we shade this? There's, as always, a number of ways that we could do this, but I'm just going to create a shadow underneath where that ring goes over. Maybe a little rounding here up on the top. And also a shadow behind, maybe cast onto the stem by that ring itself. And once we blend this out, it'll look a little better for us. And then anywhere things overlap each other, we can create a tiny shadow. Alright, let's see what this looks like once we blend it a little. Of course, when we have our stem and pieces close together, sometimes that shadow, when we spread it, it more or less covers that whole branch. That's okay. Just something to be aware of as you draw your own drawings. You may want to make that shorter or longer if you want to avoid that, or if it doesn't matter. Simple enough. And that gets us our fifth, I believe I said, Tangle in our Alien Sci-Fi series, and it is called Rixty.